Welcome to another Michigan football show. I'm Bryn Mickle.
And I'm Aaron McMahon.
This week we're going to look at what's wrong with the Michigan offense and look ahead to the Purdue Boilermakers. First down, 1 touchdown and 10 trips to the red zone. What's wrong with this Michigan offense?
You know, I really think there are 2 factors at play here. You know, one being the inexperienced offensive line. And this is something we've talked about in weeks past. You know, especially with that right side, you've got guys playing for the first time. They're young, and they're still learning defensive schemes and communication. The second factor was I think play calling is almost predictable. There isn't a whole lot of imagination there, and I think teams are picking up on that, and they recognize it.
Second down, our reader question comes from Bob Hewlett, who wonders why aren't we seeing more screen passes in the Michigan offense?
Youth at receiver, you know, you've got the guys that work well out in space, guys like Donovan Peoples-Jones, guys like Eddie McDoom, but they're still getting used to the offense. You know, they're still getting used to the playbook. They're still getting comfortable with quarterback Wilton Spade.
What does the Tariq Black injury mean going forward?
It opens things up, I think, for the receivers. I mean, you're going to see guys like Peoples-Jones that might get more targets. You might see Oliver Martin and Nico Collins get involved. I think Michigan will turn more to their tight ends, who they've relied on quite a bit here in the first 3 games. Michigan has more options, but at the same time, they've got to play with what they have.
Third down, Michigan opens the Big Ten season on the road against Purdue. What can you tell us about the Boilermakers?
Well, they surprised some folks. They're off to a 2-1 start under a first-year head coach, Jeff Brom, who came from a successful tenure at Western Kentucky. This is a team that likes to move the ball. They average 35 points a game. Quarterback David Blau is experienced. Michigan's going to have their hands full. You know, and defensively, I think they give Michigan some problems too. You know, they forced 7 turnovers in the first 3 games, and with given Michigan struggles in the red zone, you know, it may become problematic.
Fourth down, prediction time. What do you have for us this week?
You know, I'm incredibly confident in this defense after the way they contained Air Force's triple option. Not so much about the offense. You know, I think their struggles in the red zone are concerning. I think they may take a while to iron out. I'm going to take Michigan 24-14, but I think this ends up being a close one.
Well, my predictions have been on point all season long, and I'm just going to... Okay, so I've been a little bit off. But this week's different. Bet the house. Michigan 35, Purdue 14. Lock it. Well, thanks for joining us for another Michigan football show. Keep sending your reader questions, and we'll see you next week when we look back on the Purdue Boilermakers and hopefully a 4-0 start.